Good morning, my beautiful friends. Good morning, good morning. This is the 9:15 edition of the Wake Up Call with Maui Paul. Apologies for the delay. The internet wasn't quite working as I'd have preferred it to this morning, but I figured it out. A little quick router reset solved that problem. Anyways, this is your Wake Up Call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul, and we are here to say some nice things about ourselves this morning. We're going to do that with the guidance of my I Am deck. This deck is just full of amazing, beautiful affirmations that we can say in order to really affirm the truth of ourselves. And this being season 2, we are going to approach these affirmations with the theme of the opposites. So we're going to go through the affirmation, and then we will also go through the opposite word, and let's see where that takes us today. So we'll pull the front one right off the top of the deck and say that I am strong. I am strong. My physical and intellectual powers are my greatest resources. So I am strong. My physical and intellectual powers are my greatest resources. Are you strong? You are strong. Your physical and intellectual powers are your greatest resources. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into the comments right now, saying I am strong. And I'd love to see you guys put that into the comments as well. It is one thing to say it, it's another thing to write it. It's another thing entirely to say it to another person and believe it. And all of these are tools in our toolbox for changing the track that's going on inside of our heads, for changing the mental what's it called? Like the mental soundtrack of our lives, the words that we say when life happens. So I am strong. And strength is, of course, physical strength, but it's also mental strength. It's, for example, today I was very frustrated because I could get onto the internet, but for some reason Facebook streaming wasn't working, and running speed tests and stuff like that, and trying to figure out what's wrong. Why isn't, why is part of the internet working and not the other part of the internet? What's all bound up? And it was frustrating. And I realized that I could be frustrated, or I could just transcend that and be strong mentally and just be focused on my goal and say, okay, well, if it's not working one way, maybe it's working another way. If it's not one problem, maybe it's another problem. I can be methodical about this. If the internet is working, then the internet should be working for streaming as well as for just loading up Facebook. And so it took some mental strength and some conviction to continue to do this instead of just to say, yeah, screw it. I'll write, I'll pre-record it and I'll just load it to YouTube later on. And so mental strength precedes physical strength. My friend Brenda Jean she does morning yoga every morning, and yoga is not something that necessarily requires a lot of physical strength, but it requires a mental focus, an inner strength in order to maintain those poses, in order to continue to push our bodies to the place where we find that they stop. And so when I do her yoga in the morning, I push my body to a place where it wants to stop, where it's like where there's some resistance, and then I just rest in that resistance. And it requires strength to rest in that resistance. And I find that as I do that, I'm able to let go. It was me all along that was stopping everything from proceeding. So I am strong today. And let's talk about the opposite of the word strong. Let's talk about the word weak. A lot of times we think that we're weak because we know ourselves, we know our strengths, we know our capabilities, and yet we don't, we fall short of our own goals. We fall short of our aspirations. We fall short of our own expectations for ourselves, and we view that as weakness. But that weakness is just an invitation for us to know ourselves better, for us to say, oh, here's a place that I'm self-sabotaging. Here's a place where I know I could do better and I'm not. Here's a place where I'm making myself small when I know that I'm large. And when we look at those places and we sit in those places of uncomfortableness, because it's uncomfortable to face the reality about ourselves. But when we sit in those places of uncomfortableness, it is no different than sitting at a place in a yoga stretch where we are at the limits of what we believe our body can endure, and then we relax into it and we recognize that, oh, it was us. It was all in our head all along. And then we relax and we're able to go deeper. In the same way, we get to go deeper into our weaknesses to find our strengths. So I am strong today, and you are strong. So let's go out and present a strong front to the world today. Let's go be strong for other people. And when we find some place where we are less strong than we desire to be, let's look at that place and say, okay, this is an invitation to go deeper into this weakness so that I can find the inner strength within. Guys, if you need a specific affirmation, I have these all in my YouTube channel. I want to say thank you guys so much to those people who like and share this stuff. And it's amazing how we're ruled by an algorithm now. There's a nameless, faceless algorithm that decides whose voices get amplified and whose don't. And so thank you so much for helping that algorithm figure out that this message is actually worth spreading and sharing. Appreciate you guys a lot. And I enjoy doing this, even when the internet isn't super cooperative. Aloha from